As we continue here on a Friday, I'm Donald McShane with you, filling in for the I-Man in the Nouveau Fat Law Studios in New York City. Peter Kiernan, the author of a couple of books, Becoming China's Bitch and 9 More Catastrophes We Must Avoid Right Now, and more recently, American Mojo, Lost and Found, really taking a close look at the middle class and how we prevented that resilient majority, as he calls it, from achieving their destiny. And he is a regular guest here with Imus, and sometimes with us on a Friday as well, in which he is kind enough to join us this morning. Good morning, Peter. Always good to have you on.
Great to be with you again.
Now, we have a jobs report this morning, 8:30 Eastern Time. The government will report. We figure the unemployment rate, or the economists do, will be around 4.8%, down a tick. 180,000 jobs expected to have been added. But I said earlier that the story here is, can Donald Trump get back on message, start talking about the economy? Because I really felt like he lost an opportunity the last time we had a piece of economic data, a poor GDP report. He was talking about that Khan family and just was all over the place, and that was a poor report. What do you think is going to happen this morning?
Well, honestly, when you elbow everyone else underneath the basket and get the basketball, you have at that point, and win the nomination, you have at that point a single overarching responsibility. Nothing else should cloud your vision. That responsibility is to win. And what's happened with Donald Trump is he's gotten too easily diverted,
right? Maybe
even trapped, and he's got to change that immediately.
Well, don't you think this would be a good chance this morning? Be all over the economy. I mean, as Bernie brought up earlier, it sounds almost like you'd be rooting for bad news, and who knows, maybe the jobs report will be a good report and won't give him that opportunity, but he's had these chances before to capitalize on, say this economy's not great, I'm going to fix it.
There are a couple of messages that if he stays on them, he will find a really resilient and responsive audience. It's too early for a Requiem Mass. But he can't be in the Hope Solo School of Foreign Affairs, right? He is, he's got to start to focus.
Taking selfies of himself with a mosquito net, or?
Well, that's the problem. Is he has this? It's almost a death wish and throwing gunpowder in the fire. And to me, there is a very cogent argument you can make.
All right,
two areas.
Give us that now, then. All right.
The first is that the economy has been weak. We are looking at slow green shoots starting to appear. I think the jobs is going to be okay today. If you talk to people out in the business world, it's better than the reporting. There are other elements that are understated. Inflation is higher than people are reporting. Everywhere you go, they say inflation is low. But you spend money, I spend money. Is anything you buy except for gasoline any cheaper? And at the relevant stuff, like what it costs to go to college, what it costs to feed your family, what it costs to buy a home, what it costs to buy a car, what it costs to basically take your health care. Virtually all the Obamacare costs are going up. So there's plenty of, what I'll say, fodder. There's plenty of things for him to talk about in the economy.
Right.
A second area of argument I think that is wide open for him is that ISIS was essentially a virus that mutated during the Obama administration, sprung from the head of Osama bin Laden and Al-Qaeda, right? But it's changed its force and its direction.
So this Hillary Clinton is a founder of ISIS thing, you think maybe some version of that works? Or
Well, or at least that has been underestimated. Now ISIS is prominent in 18 different countries. They have a multi-billion-dollar stream of revenue. There has never been a virus or an organization like this because they've gone open architecture. By that I mean they have said to people in India and the Philippines and all around the world, you commit any act, no matter how disgraceful, no matter who you act upon, and we will allow it. We will endorse it. There's no central authority saying this is tolerable and this is intolerable. Whatever you want to do, we will endorse it, and you can claim the credit for it at the very end and film it at the very end. So this horrific situation with this priest who was murdered at the altar in sanctuary, and the nun who was severely wounded in sanctuary, one of the parishioners was forced to film it. We're talking about a new level of depravity, and this is what was termed the junior varsity, and we've got it largely contained, et cetera, by this administration. These are two fruitful fields to plow.
You have to be focused to do it. You can't get yourself off on some other tangent. As we look, and Peter Kiernan is with us this morning on the Imus in the Morning program, at some of these prediction markets, for example, they're giving Hillary Clinton anywhere from somewhere in the 70-something% chance of winning the election. That's how heavy a favorite she is right now. But it's only August 5th. So you're saying there's time to reverse that and actually get things turned around if you're Donald Trump, make those two basic arguments?
I would take two arguments. First, polls are like taking a pulse, right? They're directional. They're of the moment. This is a video game, and there have been lots of twists and turns, and like a cat, Trump has had 9, 10, 11 lives. I agree with you totally. Gold star mothers are off limits. They're be treated with reverence and respect, period, end of statement. But the point is, the letters I would use, FOP, Florida, Ohio, Pennsylvania.
Yep.
If Trump loses one, he may make it. If he loses two, he has no chance.
I think he's got to win all three. I mean, if he loses one, I mean, he's got to win some state that he's not that he's
not expecting to. But these three are the places to focus. You talk about focus. Focus on message. Focus on the key states. He has been significantly outraised in terms of fundraising by Hillary.
Mm-hmm. He did pretty well last month, I got to say, with a lot of the small donations. I mean, he did do pretty well last month on the fundraising.
And it's probably sufficient, to your point. I was going exactly there, that I think he's probably got enough. But if he loses FOP, if he's not focused there, if he's not focused on the three messages. Now, the trouble is, saying it between you and me is easy. When are the examples where Donald Trump stays focused? He is. If there's crooked Hillary and crazy Bernie, he's exasperating Donald. He's the most exasperating. He's literally the most exasperating guy running for office I have ever seen. And if the overarching goal is to win, he has to have people around him, his children, his wife, somebody who says, focus, focus, focus. If he doesn't, he has no shot of winning.
Peter, always good to talk to you. We appreciate it. Thanks for coming on this morning.
Great to be with you. Thank you.